Hey Malena!
Hello, Johanna. How are you?
Yes, I'm all over the place. Which I think is a good starting point for this week's episode, where we're going to talk about doing an update episode, basically, to talk to you all guys about what's going on behind the scenes, the chaos, the madness, so hopefully some progress, setbacks, all the things that goes on behind the scenes of doing the things that we do. So, Malena, we haven't actually talked for a while because we have been a bit on a podcast vacation, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have actually been on vacation a couple of days, but you have not. You have been busy. Tell us, what have you been doing?
Yeah, well, I've been trying to launch a sewing pattern with the emphasis on trying, because life does have a tendency of throwing wrench at your way. So if you're long-term listeners, you know that I'm working on a new sewing pattern. It's a knit sewing pattern, and I've been working on it for about 3 to 4 weeks, I think, like efficient time. And so right now I'm sewing these photo samples because on Friday, which is 2 days kind of now, we're going to do a photo shoot. And it's a lot of pressure sewing 4 samples, and if they're going to be photographed, they better look good. you don't want any sloppy sewing. You don't want any sloppy sewing.
Have you already had some photo shoot, or did you just take photos yourself? Because I've noticed a couple of new pictures on Instagram, for example.
Exactly. So to backtrack, what happened was that last Friday we had planned to do a photo shoot. My wonderful studio mate Oscar, that I share the space with, he is a photographer, and so he had promised to do the photo shoot for me. He also took the pictures of our latest book, Fit for Knits, the cover, and the author photos. But anyways, unfortunately what happened was that I had some family health situations, so I had to postpone everything, which basically meant that last Friday, there were not 4 samples done because I had to travel for family reasons. So, but we did, because we have invested a lot of money in good equipment now, good lights. So we tested those last week, and we took some new profile pictures of me that I think was really nice. And
yeah, super nice.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to post them on our Instagram account, Stitching Tales Positive. And I felt like, wow, those lights, they make you look really good. I was like,
it was really professional, those photos. It was really nice also with you and a dummy, and it was a little bit different. I really liked them.
Oh, thank you. That's me so much. I was like, wow. I was so happy because Oscar is so talented as well, and I'm also very picky because I'm like, it has to look a certain way. You know, this is for sewing, so it has to be.
Yeah, not just me. It has to look good. It also the clothes and everything around. It's like there's no room for error here.
Exactly. So the photo session we're going to do on Friday, which I realized when we did the last shoot for the Vida knit pants. I had was fortunate enough to have a studio mate as well who has worked as a stylist assistant at a fashion designer shoot. And I realized you have to be 3 people, because one has to take the pictures, one has to be the model, in this case it's me, and one needs to check lint, stray hairs, wrinkles on garments, etc., etc. So I figured out who would be the best suited, because unfortunately Hanna, who helped me the last time, she is sailing around the world right now, so she's unfortunately not accessible. But I have a person in my close circle, which is my boyfriend. And I will say, he's a little bit OCD, and I feel he says so himself. So I felt like he is probably the right type of person to keep track, because you know, the garments, I think normally when you think about it, you think of, I just want to look good. I as me, the model or the face or the one being photographed, but that is not that important when you're taking. The important thing is that the clothes look their absolute best. So it's going to be an experiment, but I feel confident that he will be able to do this very important. So we're going to be with a lint roller, a brush maybe, flattening down my hair, and like make sure that there's no weird twisting that adds wrinkles to the garment. And I'm like, don't look at me, look at the clothes.
But that's amazing to have your own little team behind you that can help you with these kind of things, because it is super tricky to, I mean, for the photographer they have so much to think of, like lighting, everything, like they need to focus on that. So yeah, the wrinkles and they're 3 people. It's a 3 people job to take photos. At
least, and if I had a model, it would be a 4 people work, because then I could work as a stylist, but now I have to style myself. But I think it's good. I also made, just to help them, I've done like a Pinterest board as well, so they can see what kind of vibe I'm going for. It's going to be in the vein of those profile pictures as well that we took. So I feel this part I enjoy. The part I don't enjoy is that I have one more garment to sew, and I'm going to have to sew all day tomorrow from dusk to dawn. and I don't want to accidentally cut into anything because I'm so stressed.
Is it going to be speedy sewing, or is it going to be you have to photograph and film and every single step along the way as well? Or
no, I actually did I finished the sew along yesterday for another. I sewed another project, so I'm just going to add a few things on this one. So hopefully that won't be too time consuming. But also between you and I and all of this is not all garments might be hemmed during the photo shoot. Some might be tucked into the pants.
No one's gonna know. No one needs to know. We'll keep it a secret.
Yeah, just you. All you listening, don't tell anyone. But it's a busy season for sure. But I will be very relieved when the pattern is out. I have to delay this because the fact that I was delayed basically. But again, no one is asking for this pattern, so I feel confident that I can push the deadline a little bit. So hopefully in the beginning of April it's going to be done.
I think that will be very good. But how has it been working with it this time? Because you have done a couple of patterns now, and I think you learn every pattern you do, you like make it a little bit better than the next one. And you have done a couple of patterns now. So how has it been this time? Has it been smooth sailing, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think both. I think the doing the illustrations for the instructions and that kind of thing, that went super fast this time, and I feel that's probably because I've gotten quite comfortable doing Illustrator, and so that piece was very simple. Also, I feel because I'm building on the girly top, so it's a similar bodies and things like that. So I felt really confident with that part, but. The tricky thing for me right now is the fact that this is probably the most like intermediate to advanced knit pattern. So this is not a beginner sewing pattern. This is definitely for someone who has sewn knit tops before, who owns an overlocker. Ideally, it's nice to have a cover stitch machine as well. You can definitely do hemming on the sewing machine, but and that has made me feel a little bit insecure about the reach of this pattern, because I feel maybe everyone just wants to sew simple things, and this is, if you do this pattern, and you will definitely learn new skills, and you will learn to work with tricky slippery jersey fabrics. You will learn how to do more like intricate details. I'm also doing something that, who knows if I am the first to do this. We don't know, but let's pretend that I'm a pioneer in this area. So, because a few of those things are a little bit hard to show flat using an illustration, I've also done something which is to film vertical, small snippets tutorials. So all the like slightly tricky bits, you will also get like you can swipe through basically. I'm going to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this, but it's probably going to be on my website. You will be able to watch mini clips showing exactly how to do certain specific things. And I think that is going to add some really good value. And I feel like this could be the future. So I was like, maybe I should do an app, but I won't. So this is the new thing. So it's going to be like a video element, not like a full video tutorial, because I feel like you will get really good solid instructions. But the visual thing, you can just look that up, see exactly how it's done in 3D, and then you can move on to the next step following the sewing instructions. So I feel this could be something that we will see more of in the future. But it's a great way of collected it in a so you don't have to watch through an all like 20 minutes sew-along series or 30 minutes sew-along series, because you don't really need all that. You just need specific bits that you haven't done before, maybe.
Yeah, and some steps can be really tricky to do illustrations for, or to write a text about it and explain. You need to see it sometimes, so I think that's a really good complement to do it, actually. That's cool. Then you're stepping up even one more step compared to your previous patterns.
Yes, hopefully I didn't step too high, but the market will tell us that this is not. But hopefully it's going to be a well-liked, well-received pattern. And I'm also, as we talked before, it's so nice when you're finally done. That's probably the one thing that keeps me most motivated right now, is to be done. This part is not fun. I mean, let's not pretend everything that we do is fun. This is a high pressure part of doing a project like this. This is lots of nerves and stress and
Yeah, I'm tying everything together and doing the nice package and everything and delivering it. It's it's a process.
It's a process. So that was straight into my chaos, which is right now. But you have been on a vacation, and so what else has been going on in your life?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds so glamorous that I've been on vacation, but we have actually, in the Nordic countries, we have something called like sporting holiday. In Finland, we call it skiing holiday, and it's basically in beginning of March, the schools have 1 week off, so you are able to go on a skiing holiday or something, take advantage of the nice weather and snow here. So I didn't go skiing or anything, but I went a couple of days, a long weekend to my family in Finland with kids. So that was really nice to just go away and visit them. And I haven't been home for quite a while now, and for me, I mean, that's a couple of months. I wasn't there for the Christmas holiday, so it was a long time coming now that we wanted to go home and visit them. And I actually done some shopping while I was there. The feeling when you go on holiday and all of a sudden you get a holiday mindset of buying things, and there is actually really good secondhand stores in Vasa. They have this like, you rent basically not a table but a shelf, and you put all your things there, and then it's there for a couple of weeks, so you don't have to physically be there. It's like a proper store. They have several these secondhand places, so you can really like find some good stuff there. And I've been shopping for my kids. They are growing fast, and my son doesn't have basically any trousers almost. Everything has hole on the knees. So it was like, it was needed. And I also found a couple of things for myself. And before you even ask, no, they were not light gray. So yeah, they were navy, dark blue. So I wasn't like, going for the explosion colorful
baby steps.
Themes. Baby steps. Yes. No, but several garments that were like all over print. This, for example, I bought. So this is, if you're not watching the video version, it looks black, but it's actually dark blue, and it's like squares, basically. So these kind of all over small, quite minimalistic patterns, I do like. I will post some pictures on the things that I bought. So that was really nice, and it was actually not the overconsumption part. It was more like I bought everything secondhand, nothing new. Everything was secondhand, and for the last couple of years, apparently most of my trousers, for example, like nothing fits me anymore in my wardrobe. I don't know if they shrunk in the wash all of a sudden. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It must be the cold winter. Yeah.
Yeah, must
makes the garments shrink. chill,
yes,
cold,
weirdly
difficult.
No. So I needed actually a couple of new clothes, because especially when you're like going out for an after work or meeting up with some friends, which I don't do that often. When you dress up a little bit, because I work from home all the time, so I don't need those a little bit fancier clothes. So now I actually bought that category, so it was really nice. It I had the holiday mindset when I went shopping.
Yeah, it's so lovely. Sometimes when I feel like shopping is a little bit like you keep the tap tightly screwed for a lot of the year, and then something happens. Usually, as you say, you're on a holiday, and then it's like the tap goes from very tightly screwed to like full flood. So it's like you open the floodgates and you're like everything. All of a sudden you see so many nice things that you desire, whereas maybe usually you don't really see anything. It's kind of fascinating how the brain works. Have you experienced that as well? It's like boom, it's like shiny everywhere.
Yeah, when you start and then like it just snowballs, and it's it was a great shopping day for me. I think I went to like 5 different secondhand stores during that one day when my parents were babysitting the kids and I had time for myself. So yeah, it was good. It was really, and just also I found, again, everything was secondhand, like $2-3 each, so it was like no money basically. And I found the exact pair of shorts that I have, but are 3 sizes too small for me now. I found that in my new size. That was like, yes, felt like I won the lottery when I found that one. So yeah, I was a very happy shopper. I'm not like a woo-woo person, but I definitely believe in manifestation when it comes to secondhand shopping. I feel like it actually works in that case. Yeah, there's probably something like that happened. I should also just cut back to you, if you're not watching the video version, the top that Malena you're wearing right now is so pretty and such a great inspiration if you want to sew something similar. So I'm just going to explain here now the audio version of the top. So it's a square geometrical print with dark navy and white lines. But there are so many cool details. For instance, there is a bias tape binding. It looks for the neckline. And then you see, it's so pretty. And then you have the yoke that extends a little bit to the front. And that yoke is flipped over. So the squares are cut in the other direction. So there's a dynamic there. And also on the fold, the cuffs on the sleeves and on the neckband, it's on the diagonal. So you have 3 different verticals, I guess you could say. So to me, this is an amazing inspiration for if you want to sew something similar. Is it a woven fabric or is it a knit? Yeah, it's like a woven fabric. A very, very light fabric, so it has a dropped shoulder. So
if you're like into sewing like woven tees, I think this one is so inspirational and definitely levels up the basic tee to something very, especially with the way they use the prints in 3 different directions. So very highly inspirational. Go over to our Instagram account, Stitching Tales Pod, to check out Malena's amazing blouse, because I thought you had sewn it yourself.
Thank you. It's Hilfiger, actually, Tom Hilfiger, that I found on for like, I think it was €8 or something. This was the most expensive thing I bought, but I mean, it's a brand of good quality, so I was like, yeah, I can, no problem, I can do that.
Yeah, that explains it, because definitely there has been, someone has cared about this design, which is, I love seeing that, especially when you like shop mass market. Sometimes you feel like nobody really cared about this design. And then you feel like, on some garments you feel like, okay, there were a lot of like thinking going into this. It's not just another t-shirt, and I love seeing that. Speaking of my gripe with the mama coat or the mama shorts that we dressed in a couple of episodes back when we did a spring style. Like, that's probably my biggest gripe, I realized, why I was so like sour on that style. It's just no one really cares about this. No one. I mean, the designer, they just want to like churn out sleeping bags with zippers, basically. And I was like, nobody felt like maybe we could do some personality. Like, no, it's just a mass market assembly line thing.
Straightforward design. I actually did buy one thing new. It was I have seen it before at this store. I have had it in the back of my mind since then. I mean, I think it was like a year or two since I saw it, and I actually saw it again. So I was like, okay, I have to buy it now. And that was a branch of a cotton plant. So it's like a dried branch with these cotton balls, flowers, like whatever you... I'm going to post a picture of that one as well. So I'm going to put it in a nice vase, what do you say? And have it as a decoration, because I think it's so fascinating that that's actually the plant that you get cotton fabric from.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And it's
what
really
we have.
fluffy, those, not flowers, but whatever you call it.
Yes, and think about someone very, very long time ago saw that fluffiness and felt, yeah, we could probably spin that into yarn just like we do with wool, because it looks kind of like wool, and you're like, maybe we should try that. I mean, bam! Change the trajectory of the entire world textile production.
You know what? Hold on for 5 seconds and I will actually grab it.
So nobody's caring what I'm wearing, but I am actually wearing something that I did sew myself in cotton. It's an old border style pattern. I did actually pick some flowers today because at least here in the southern Sweden it's officially spring. That's why I'm wearing some flower print today.
That is so nice. So this is actually the branch with the cotton. So yeah, wow. That one I'm gonna have it on my office desk here to kind of. I wonder. I paid for it myself, but I wonder, isn't this a business expense?
Yeah,
it kind of goes along with my company. Come on.
Yes, because that's something you should. Now we're going to do like a really inside baseball here, but I think because I try to remember that because we do have workspaces, and if you have a company, no one would ever, if you worked at the big corporation, if some like the boss said, "Oh, we're going to decorate" or blah blah blah, they're not going to say, "Oh, I'm going to pay that out of my own pocket." No, and we're like,
but then again, I mean. This was from Finland, so it's in euros, and then I think my bookkeeper needs to. I think it's going to cost me
worth
more.
The hassle. Yeah.
So no, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing, because I was when I was in the UK recently, I bought some fabrics for to sew T-shirt for our upcoming book, and then I also have to pay VAT to the Brexit government, and then I was like, I could. Did I deduct the VAT for the fabrics that I bought in the UK, and I sent it in, and now I'm getting cold feet because I realized that's probably gonna mess up the bookkeeping so much, and I was like, it's not worth saving maybe like 10 quid, I mean 10 pounds for this, and then my bookkeeper is gonna be, but like, why? But this is not properly VAT invoices or something like that. I was like, I need to send it back and say, I'm sorry, never mind.
Well, you can try. I mean, maybe they are like, yeah, no problem.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see. We'll see on that one. The realities of running a business, a global business. And I'm going to... Speaking of which, so the good news is that if you're in the US, you can right now buy our book Fit for Knits, the print version, at 25% off. It's a spring stock sale, and also Sewing Jeans is also 25% off on Amazon US, and for both only US. So, but if you're listening, definitely grab it while you can now in March. So that's the good news for everyone who's listening who's living in the US.
What's the bad news?
The bad news is that I hope I'm not going to get sued by Amazon, but this is the standard best practice. But yeah, Amazon, because I sell all my books only unfortunately right now, I only sell my books to Amazon in the US because it's incredibly difficult to figure out the distribution system in the US, and it's very risky, So I work with a UK-based distributor who is able to ship books to the US, and that's why it's possible. Unfortunately, Amazon they call the shots. Surprise by no one. I mean, and they decided to liquidize some of the stock, and I won't get refunded for that because that's terms and conditions. So they basically said, okay, that shelf is too full, so we're gonna get rid of some books. Yeah, money's gone. Yep, super great. So I have had the business highs and lows recently. The good news, I had a very positive meeting with my distributor last week. She is just as upset as I am, and she's looking to figure out other ways of being able to distribute books in the US. So fingers crossed, hopefully that can be some positive news for our next book to a T, but right now I'm like, yeah. Some things are truly a bummer when you're trying to work on a global level, and you're definitely in the hands of the biggest vendor in the world, and the majority of the sales that I make of my print books are through Amazon, and just Amazon. It's also because a while back when I started doing print books, there was another company called Book Depository. I think it was UK, and they had a UK-based company, and they had distribute. I can't. Sorry, because we haven't done a podcast. Distributors, yes, they have distribution. They had global distribution, so pretty much wherever you were in the world, you were able to order print books of mine. Then Amazon bought Book Depository. And they said they were gonna do it as a separate business, but do you think it's still around?
Yeah, I guess not.
Nope. So unfortunately, that is also a bummer. So it's very difficult to get books, to reach people, because I get lots of questions from people around the world. I don't want to buy from Amazon. Can I buy from someone else? I live in this country. How do I access the print books? And the answer is unfortunately it's beyond my control and the volume of books I sell. But the good news is that So Years has been done extremely well the last year. So I think overall now I've sold over 10,000 books, and I released that in 2000, the very, how shall I say it, tumultuous year of 2020. I released that book, so it's over 5 years now, and it's been selling so well.
That's
so
amazing.
There's a denim boom. Yeah, it's a denim boom right now. So that
cool.
So it's been ups and downs in the last stitch business area, I can say, for the last few weeks. Some really bad news and some good news.
Yeah, but so if we have any US listeners, if you have any tips for, like, I don't know, where do you otherwise buy sewing books?
Yeah.
Let us know, because we don't stand behind the values that Amazon has, and we don't want to put more pockets in the billionaires that already exist. Like, we want to support local businesses, but sometimes our hands are also tied, like, if that's the only way, because they basically have a monopoly of it now. It's really tricky. So if you have any suggestions, let us know, because that's and it's such an I mean, I'm not even in that business. You take care of all those kind of things. I'm very happy about that, because I would be completely clueless. It's like, where do you even begin? Google, like, search, how? It's a nightmare.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing I'm the most proud of in my business. And if you're not a long-term listener, you might not know this, that I don't have a publisher. I am the publisher. And I'm very proud of myself that I managed to figure out how to design, produce, print and ship books and make them available in several countries apart from Sweden, which is a very small market. I think that's probably my biggest accomplishment as a business owner.
Yeah, it's like two different things. Just writing a book is amazing, but actually getting it out there, that's another ball game. Like, yeah.
But as Malena says, we definitely would love to get some input, because I know there are probably, just like in many countries, there are less and less independent bookstores, for instance. I know Barnes & Noble is a big chain in the US. I also know that sometimes it's difficult to get my books in Canada as well. My distributor is looking into that as well right now. And also, I also asked, because as I mentioned, I was in London recently, and I checked out the sewing book selection at the biggest book chain store there, Waterstones, and I felt 2AT is going to fit really nicely among those books, and I will say it's going to stand out. I think we are. It's going to be really good. But then, of course, second question is, how the heck do we get into Waterstones? So I asked my distributor on that topic as well, and she said, "Oh, it's tricky because basically it's a pay to play. So the biggest publisher have a deal with Waterstones, but if people go and ask in their local Waterstones, and Waterstones, they can get my books easily from the British distributor, and you can also get my book online from Waterstones. They are maybe getting a little bit interested and maybe want to storage or have the book on the shelf. So that's, if anyone, especially now with the next books, we could definitely want to make sure that it does really well and that it finds new people as well. So it will be, if you're UK based or have some ideas and would love to support that, so once the book is out, it would be lovely if you want to ask for maybe go to Waterstones and ask for a book.
Yeah, no, because that's, I mean, if there is no supply and demand, like if no one is asking for it, why would they have it? But if people are actually asking for it, then yeah, of course, it's a business for them. They want to have what people are asking for. So yeah, that will be. But did they have? I never been there. Did they have like a lot of sewing books or?
Yep. Lots of sewing books.
Cool.
Lots of sewing books. Yeah, but again, which is I think another challenge in publishing is the fact that there's a very short shelf life of a book. So say that if you published a book a year ago, it's very unlikely that you will still find it in the shelf. So it was more newer books. But there was a Norwegian book, for instance, that was translated I hadn't seen, for instance. So definitely a market. I felt encouraged because there were quite a few sewing books in the shelf. So I felt that, sewing books is still a thing. That was what I was also hoping to.
Oh, that's nice, at least.
Yeah. Hoping to see. We're not gone all 100% digital.
That's a good thing. It's still alive and well on the sewing business market.
Yeah. But going from my books to something else that starts with the letter B, how is the bridal sewing going?
Yeah, it's going well. It is. I sewed so much chiffon lately. I mean, I don't remember when did I sew. I think it was when I was 14, something, and we tried chiffon in school. I don't think I have sewn with it after that. But yeah, no, it's going well. It's fun, challenging. I do not want to. For one project, I was like, but how much do I actually earn by the hour? Like the amount of time I spent on it. And I was like, okay, I do not want to know.
Oh, yeah.
It was
kind of so is math you don't want to know. Yeah. Yeah,
and I mean it's nothing. I mean I have a fair deal with the shop. It's not about that. But I do see it more as this spring I will learn. I will do this instead of going to school and pay for school. And this is like my trial and error. And I maybe have to do things twice or before everything is perfect. So. Fingers crossed that I will pick up speed, and you learn, you live and you learn. You will get better, while you are working with it. So, but yeah, no, it's so fun, and I've done like embroidery, lace on top of mesh, and all kind of things, and regular hems as well, and so yeah, it's been a a combination of everything basically there. And one thing that I did It was actually we are actually two seamstresses there, and we helped out a little bit on one dress. She was gonna sew, and I said I can do the pattern and cut out the skirt in chiffon and lining fabric. So the lining was no problem to cut, but the chiffon skirt, oh my god, when I've cutted that, because as you have seen, I have bought a rotary cutter, which is amazing, but I mean, I bought a regular big-sized mat, which, I mean, a chiffon skirt is like not going to cover anything, basically, because those chiffon skirts, they are huge. Like my big cutting table, not big enough, not even close big enough. Luckily, they actually have a table tennis table there at the shop. The owner has it, and I was looking and it's like, this is actually the perfect size as a cutting table. So tip anyone, if you want to have a big cutting table and want to make your kids or husband or yourself happy, buy a table tennis table. That is the perfect size, and you can store it pretty easily when you're not using it. But anyway, so that was good size. I could cut out the chiffon skirt. But after I cut it, it was. It looked like I was drunk when I cut it, basically. I mean, the edges were like, what? And I mean, it's fine. It's not like a big shift. The fabric has not been shifting around or anything. It's just when you cut and recut, like, it got small jags and, like, it's not straight, basically. Which is fine. I mean, you're gonna overlook it anyway. That will be cleaned up. The edges will be looking nice anyway, so it's not like an issue. But since I was not gonna be sewing it, I had to make a note to my the other one, like, yeah, sorry. Good luck. Probably the overlocker is gonna do some magic here. But after that, I was like, so this cutting mat, I need a bigger one. So I have been shopping a lot lately. I shopped not one but two large cutting mats, and when I say large, it is 1 meter by 1.5 meter. So then when you put those two together, I got a huge cutting mat now. And I actually have been cutting some chiffon afterwards, or not cutting. What do you say? Rotary cutting.
Yeah, you're cutting. You're cutting.
Yeah, it is so much easier with the rotary cutter. So this was really like, like, should I not buy this? But as you said in a couple of episodes ago, like, if it's gonna help in your business, like if it's gonna, like, it's not gonna become a hurdle, like, do it. And that was in the back of my mind, like, this is gonna make it so much faster, the result is gonna be so much better. So yeah, I bought two huge cutting mats. So am I becoming Team Rotary Cutter all of a sudden?
Yes, I mean, you went from 0 to 100 in like a couple of weeks, and now, like,
that happened.
And I feel like I get a ting of mat envy, because I have one of those large. I have one. I think it's also like 100, 120 or something like that. So I have it on my cutting table, which I've done by using IKEA shelves. And yes, that too feels too small. Because now when you say, like, this is the perfect length, because then you can cut out everything.
Yeah.
Wow. We need a cutting room.
Yeah, and my cutting table, it's big enough for one of those mats. I have them on top of each other at the moment. But then anytime, like, I need, like, the both mat separately, then I use the table tennis table.
Wow.
So yeah, it's you require a lot of space, basically, when you sew big skirts and dresses. But yeah, that escalated quickly. I have to admit.
Yeah, but as we say, I mean, if it removes friction and makes it more fun to do it, then definitely it's an investment that you probably feel is worthwhile in the long run. And also, I mean, for you now when you're working, it's not just for yourself. There are two more people involved. First of all, someone maybe are going to do the hemming, and secondly, the bride or someone else is going to wear those really expensive clothing, and you're like, you want to make sure that everything goes as smooth as it possibly can. I can imagine that adds a certain pressure that, I mean, we normally as home sewists doesn't really have to experience in the same way.
Yeah, no, and I mean, again, like the reason why things take so long time for me at the moment when I do these kind of things is I maybe don't have the right equipment for everything, so then you need to take it a slow route. But now when I can invest in these kind of things, it is gonna be so much faster the next time I do it. So, and then my salary will basically be better and better the more time I'm able to do this. So it's an investment for sure for the future. But this is also, I bought it from I love ChatGPT in this. I had been looking at one cutting mat, and then I asked ChatGPT because I find it so difficult today. There are so many online shops, and like which one are serious, which one are just drop shipping, ridiculous bad stuff, and like, so I asked ChatGPT about these stories, like, is this a proper store or what is it? And they were like, yeah, no, I like iffy, like cannot really. I mean, it could be, they could be not, but
it could be new,
there are signs that it's questionable. So then I asked her, okay, well, give me a suggestion. Where can I buy mat that are this size? And it gave me this suggestion. It was from Germany. This is not towards like home sewist really, like hobby. It was more like a professional setting, industrial cutting mats. But they were super fast, okay price, absolutely. And this is, I still don't understand this. I paid 15 euros for shipping from Germany. How is that possible? I mean, 150 kronors here in Sweden, like, you can barely send any packages for that kind of price tag. How? And it was pretty fast. I mean,
it was extremely inexpensive because those mats are quite heavy as well. I mean, they're both very huge and heavy.
Yeah.
I guess I have two guesses, the qualified guesses. As I do some shipping, I ship, for instance, my book Sewing Jeans to a jeans vendor Denim Lab in Netherlands, and I don't pay that price. I can say I pay a lot more for something as heavy, and either they are eating the cost, so they are basically baking in part of the shipping price into the product, or because they do deal with large volumes, they are able to get a good deal with the freight company or the postal office.
Yeah, and usually when you have a business, I mean, it's usually maybe a combination, but more the second one. I mean, if you ship on a daily basis, like, you need to have good deals with some delivery companies or I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest. Usually like the shipping fee is always like ridiculous high, but this
and also good that you did your research, because I found the cutting mats, they can be all over the place also when it comes to price point, even though it's the same type of mat, regardless of when I bought my huge one, I bought it from a Swedish vendor, but it was a huge price difference between different vendors, and so I paid the same amount for this mat. It's a really good quality mat that other people, that if they go to like an art supply store and buy a smaller mat, then it's a way they pay almost the same amount of money. So definitely it's one of those things that where I find the price fluctuation is pretty big. So good to do your research, and also good that you were able to, because I feel that too when you're online and they feel like there's something about those websites where you're like, you can't really put your finger onto it, but there's a vibe. I remember once I almost got scammed once, because I was I buy this really nice plimsolls, like canvas sneakers from a French brand. Highly recommend. Spring court, beautiful, sturdy, with good spring to them, so you don't get like, it's not like Converse where that ruins your feet. But anyways, so I was going to update, buy a new pair, and then I saw they hardly ever do sales, but they had like 25% off when I went to the site. because I noticed they had a Swedish site, and normally I buy from the EU or the French one. I was like, oh, so nice, it's doing so well. Now they have a Swedish site, and they have also sale. I'm like, boom, Johanna is gonna open the tap and do some shopping. and then because I guess in Sweden you have to sign off with your bank ID when you confirm the purchase if you're paying with a card, and then there you can see the actual name of the seller, and it was Chinese letters.
Oh,
and I was like, dang, back,
yeah.
close every tab. And then I also went back to the site as well, and I saw that there were lots of spelling errors, and I hadn't really noticed that at first, because it was an exact replica of the official site. It was, all the product photos, everything. So it must be an absolute nightmare to be a brand today and have to deal with this kind of stuff. Because honestly, if that name, or it wasn't the right name when I was about to confirm the payment, I would have absolutely gone ahead with it, because it was it looked so nice and slick. So then I checked and I reported it, and I saw that later on it was gone, but probably it's popping up. Some other brand is probably dealing with this right now. For sure.
And like in today's, it's so, you want to support your small businesses, local businesses, and the small shops. But then again, how do you know which ones are just scams, and how do you drop shipping shit from wherever, or which are actually legit small businesses? It's super hard to actually know, and it's you have to be like an investigator, like a detective, to figure out if this is like a good or a bad place to shop at. But good thing you caught it. That's so easily to miss. And I have actually I have done some purchases when it's like, I'm not really sure, but I'll try, and then it takes like 3 weeks to get it delivered, and then it's just like, it was just some drop shipping pretending to be, again, a Swedish brand or something, and it's like, that was not. I got the product, so that's fine. But I've said this before, with drop shipping, you don't know that the product is actually following like your own country's rules, requirements, standards for chemicals or anything. So it's a little bit dangerous to use the product then. So be careful to warning.
And so just if you don't know what drop shipping is, it's basically that you start a storefront, but you don't store your own products. You maybe haven't even held the products in your hands, so instead you connect your online store to different vendors, and you use these product images, and it's like a quick get rich scheme. So if you go on YouTube, you will see lots of like tech bros or wannabe tech bros. Oh, I started a drop shipping company and made $1 million.
Yeah, with AI images and everything, creating a backstory about some family-owned business that had been there in generations. I mean, the drop shipping in itself is it's a business model. So basically, 100%. Suppliers might be sending it directly to the customer or sending it to you, and then your company send it to your customer. So you don't have your own warehouse, which is in itself, like this business model, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's, if you have great suppliers, perfect. If you are serious and you check all these rules and follow every regulations for your own country, it's nothing bad in itself. But there are so many scams that uses these business models and pretend to be like, a Swedish store or whatever your country you live in. Have Google translate everything, and it's red flag when you see these kind of stores, and it's sad, because then it's like, well, then those small unique shops that are family owned, or you solo entrepreneurs or whatever, they get lost in the crowd. It's how to get noticed when you're drowning in other scams businesses.
Yeah, but it's so frustrating to start. Maybe it's starting a shop selling sewing notions, for instance, and both having to compete. To come back to our point about Amazon and the fact that they are so ubiquitous, and then also the fact that someone may be able to search engine optimize things and with not the best intentions and not the most serious business model, and maybe pay to play and pay for better ad placement and things like that. So I can imagine, because the margins are so tiny anyways, which brings me to, we would love to do an episode in the future. We need, if you have any experience with this, because we want to talk a little bit about the price of fabric and the cost of fabric, because as we all know, it's not inexpensive to buy a yard of fabric or a meter of fabric. So if you have any experience maybe running a fabric store or worked in the business or know something about this, please drop us an email at stitchandtalespod@gmail.com, or you can go over to Instagram account as well and send us a DM there, because it would be very interesting to know, because we are very highly aware that it's definitely not the fabric stores that are rolling in money. So the explanation is probably way more nuanced and complicated, but it's a topic that we would love to address in a future episode. So if you have any insights, please tell us about it, because we can do some more informed conversation on this topic in the future.
Yeah, and speaking of fabric and episode, another we need to put on this we will talk about in a future episode, the different certifications on fabrics, or what does different fabric means, like cotton, for example. It could be PMA cotton, it could be, they have lots of different organic cotton, like what does it really mean? So I have to do some research on that one before we will let you know, but that is definitely I think a big topic, and it's a jungle, so to know actually what you're shopping, so that we will definitely talk about. But actually, and also I have done a little bit of work as well.
Well, you have been working in the bridal store as well, so
yeah, I guess freelance work and everything, but I have actually finally published all my patterns as Projector files as well. Finally, I was done with it, I think in January or something, and said to myself, like, yeah, but I'm not gonna launch them yet, or like relaunch it, because it's all the patterns I didn't have a Projector file for now do have a Projector file. But I was gonna proofread every single pattern, every single instructions, and also, I mean, I have the PDF patterns are like one Swedish version and then an English version. But on the latest pattern, I have combined them, so it's like one pattern and then it says both Swedish and English on the same pattern. So I wanted to combine them. But then the energy, like, yeah, I didn't launch. Everything has been done. The Projector file has been done since January, and I still haven't launched them. So this is actually the best and most ridiculous kick in the butt I got. Because in February, I didn't sell anything on Etsy, but one of the patterns got renewed, as they do automatically, but that cost a little bit. Like, I don't know how many, it was in Swedish, it's like a couple of kronas, like not even $1, like cents, it's about cents. But then I need to pay it to Etsy. And I was like, oh, the money obviously is like such a ridiculous amount of money, doesn't care, like it's nothing. But to make the payment and then to have to bookkeep that payment for that kind of not even $1 amount of money, it was just like, no, you know what? I'm gonna gamification of getting things done now. I'm gonna launch the Projector files just so I can make some sales, so I don't have to make the payment. Isn't that the most stupid reason why to launch now? But I did. I actually made sold a couple of patterns, so now I don't have to pay Etsy at that $50 or something. Just feel a little bit stupid to say it, but that was the reason why I launched it now.
That's why we have this podcast, you know. We're telling how it really is. I love that.
Yeah, sometimes you need a ridiculous deadline just to get things done.
Yeah.
But no, I did not proofread every single PDF in sewing instructions, and I did not combine the English and Swedish patterns. It was just like, nah, just get it done is done. Just get it done, just get it out now. It's fine. I mean, nothing is... I did have some errors that I knew from before, like I could correct, like nothing to the pattern, nothing to the fit, but like some text spelling errors or something like that I did correct on the things that I had noticed. But yeah, I just want to get it out. Otherwise it's going to take a half a year or something before I, do it. And then it's just stupid, like I have the pattern, why not relaunch it? So now all the patterns actually have Projector files.
Yay, good for you. And that's good to remember also, because we talked about this. It's also a good excuse to do a relaunch, right? And then you solve some patterns, so problem solved. I think that's sometimes we forget. We always feel like, I have to do this and now there's so much like admin stuff. But at the end of it, you're like, okay, but look, now the patterns are even better, new and improved. So that kind of also is very helpful, because I did something similar, and I will tell you, I did go into that rabbit hole of trying to... Yeah,
you did it.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, I scared Malena straight doing that.
I mean, this is a little bit sad of saying, but also it needs to make financial sense to do something and to spend the time. I know that if I am going to do these changes on the patterns, like, for example, I want to streamline everything. So, like, each and every pattern are, like, done in the same way. And this is, like, really annoying. But I have different hem widths on, like, the Pichula top, the Malva tea, and Hazelhen tea. Nothing, I mean... It's not incorrect, it's just different. Like, one is 3 centimeters, one is 2, one is 2.5. So it's like, I want to have everything the same, but is it worth it? Am I gonna sell more patterns if I go and fix that so it's same on every pattern? No, it's not. So then I need to ask myself, is it worth it for me to spend that time on it? No, it needs to make financial sense.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit like how you have to prioritize your time when you can't do it all, unfortunately.
Yeah, but everything has a cost. Everything you have to remember that everything has a cost. So that's also good to know. Just good to know. Could talk about this behind the scenes. So, for instance, if you want to expand the size range, for instance, it has a big cost when it comes to labor and time. So sometimes you're not able to do that from a business standpoint because you won't be able to take home that extra amount of time or labor. So it's very good. I think it's very important to have this conversation so you might understand why maybe it's also you want to have all covers to look exactly the same, for instance, or you want the instruction to have the exact same format, but when you did your first pattern and then you did the latest pattern, it might, a lot of things have changed and you maybe different styles and you added some things and removed some things. So just making these cohesive, it's very hard to take home those money, so to speak. And then, because we have to live, and we are very honest about this, we have to make money because unfortunately there is no mecenate or what you call it, we don't have any system to support. We have bills to pay and a life that needs to be supported. So that's why we have to make these decisions sometimes. That there's no way I can take home this extra investment for sure. And I'm not sure if I can say that I did. I did do a relaunch of the pattern and they sold really well. But still, when I think about all the hours that I spent doing this, it was mostly just because I felt like. Because I was doing a new pattern now, I wanted to make sure that I felt like the system was in place, so I didn't have to go back and maybe redo that as well.
No, and it makes much more sense for you. You do sell a lot more compared to me, so it makes total sense that you do it, but it's not a priority for me. And something that I also have been debating back and forth. The Nipita dress that I made for Tauko. It hasn't been. I mean, you can a little bit follow on like Instagram with the hashtag and everything. Like, of course, everyone who sews something will not post it there, so you don't really know how many has actually bought it or sewed it. And also, like, the selling is in PDF patterns, but they're also selling in the magazine. So, I mean, it's impossible to know exactly how many did actually sew the Nipita dress. But when I like try to research it a little bit, I can't find that many hashtags or like who has posted it on Instagram and use the hashtags. And I think that gives a little bit of an indication that maybe it's not the biggest seller, unfortunately. So then it's like, should I or should I not make this my own PDF pattern? I have the pattern, is already graded in my size range and everything, but it's not like made into a PDF yet, so it's still a couple of days work to make it. I have the text and most illustrations done already, but I do have to, you know, make it pretty and like do every like the size measurements and everything. Like, it's still a lot of work before I could release it as my own PDF pattern. So I'm like, should I kill my darling and just be happy that it was in Tauko and be happy with that, or should I actually make it a PDF pattern? And at the moment, it's a little bit on hold. It's a little bit sad because, you know, you have gotten so far with it, but then drop it or not, like, I don't know. It's is it gonna be worth the time? Since I also now do freelance work and work in the bridal shop, like, I need to spend my time wisely, and it's so difficult. Like, you want to. It's so easy to be. What do you say? Like, after it has happened, was it worth it or was it not? But to do it, to take that decision before, it is tricky. So so yeah, I think that's the most difficult part of being having your own business, to making the decisions, like which way should you go, like what should you prioritize, which road should you don't know, you take a guess with the best information you have and take a decision based on that. So yeah, it's tricky. And also, we have a book now. I want to focus on that much more. I mean, that obviously is number one priority compared to the new Peter dress. So that is gonna be on my to-do list. And so yeah, it's a little bit sad to maybe drop it, but maybe it was a good test to have it and see the reaction. Is it worth it? Is it not? Then cut your losses if you don't want to spend more time on it.
Yeah, I think it's very good. I think sometimes we can get so emotionally attached to things when we're running a small business because it's so much tied to our personality and ideas and vision and things like that. So sometimes it's difficult to make like hard business decisions that if we which we also have been part of a bigger organization or corporation, then it's very easy to step into those shoes and say, okay, this makes no sense that we order more of this style or this product or whatever because it didn't sell that well and the market is moving in this direction. But then when we are just ourselves, then we have a completely different set of thoughts, which are kind of fascinating. Then we're like, yeah, but I just want to put this out there to the world, and they're like, so I think it's nice that we are so invested in the things we do, but I definitely feel that sometimes it's good for us to take a step back and actually think of ourselves as in a more like a cooperation would do. I think that's actually helpful, and I try to do that more and more now that I am doing this full time, and I definitely try to remove myself a little bit from that idea. I want to do things that I'm passionate about, but I want to do things that I'm passionate about that also other people want to buy.
Yeah, no, you can be 100% passionate about your hobby. But when it comes to business, sorry, there is the financial aspect of it. So then you have to be smart. You have to, you can't just do whatever you want. Unfortunately.
Again, the bills must be paid.
Yeah,
probably,
that's true.
Probably the title of this episode. The bills has to be paid.
But we need to end this podcast on a more positive note. I felt like we went downhill now.
Yes.
But you have a photo shoot this week then, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that will be amazing. I think it's great to work with somebody else because then, you get that fresh perspective as well. And when did you say you think you were going to launch this? Is it, was it April?
Yeah, April. Yep. Hopefully the first part of April. I think before the 10th, I think. We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
Life has a tendency of giving you surprises, but we'll know. So then I am very, very excited, and it's going to be a huge relief, I think. Especially, I think the most part I'm stressed about now is the photo shoot, because as I talked about early in this episode, not all 4 pieces are sewn, and I only have 2 days now. And because we're recording the podcast today, so today's not going to happen. So it's tomorrow, from dusk to dawn, right. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. And so I also get such a kick out of releasing things, and I'm very excited about that. And once this is done, we're going to go full force on the book, and we're definitely going to do an episode where we talk a bit more about that as well, because we did an episode a while back, and now we have more to share. So that's going to be interesting to talk about as well. So thank you again for being with us for probably an hour again, us rambling about the lives.
Yeah, especially these catch-ups episodes. I mean, this is our therapy session. So
yes,
thank you for hanging with us so long.
Yes, we're very, very grateful. So that was all for today, and we wish you a lovely sewing week. I am Johanna Lundström.
And I am Malena Hjerpe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.